Hey everyone, welcome back. Apologies in advance if I sound a bit clogged up, but yeah, we've picked up a cold somewhere, so yeah, a bit blocked up, but anyway, that's alright. Just come up, this is the first lot of Illabo grazing wheat that we planted under the irrigator here. So yeah, it's ticking along not too bad. It's a bit dirty, it's got a bit of ryegrass and that through it, but it's also got a bit of last year's just volunteer grazing canola. There's also a bit of clover and that sort of stuff here as well. This stuff's just, seed that's either shaken out of the plant before harvest, out of the windrow, or stuff that's come out of the back of the header. So there is a little bit of it about. It's not it's probably actually a good thing. It's just a bit of a mix, so it's not just straight wheat. So and there is still a bit coming, so we'll probably leave it alone for a while, and the sheep will hook into it when time comes to graze it anyway. But what we're going to do, while we've still got irrigation water, we did get a sprinkler rain last night, but nothing of any substance. So I'm just going to start this irrigator up, and we'll just apply 10 mil. So that's, yeah, it's probably the beauty of these things over flood irrigation. If we were to flood irrigate, we'd probably, with the profile being full, we'd probably put 50 or 60 mil on it, and then the danger of that is you get another 25 or 30 mil of rain or something like that thereafter, and it gets too wet and you can't do anything with it going forward. So anyway, but we'll just bang 10 mil on here. We had the water started yesterday. We're actually going to fill the dam right up, so we'll pump it full. Just my theory is, if we do get a dry winter and we start and get a bit short on for feed, we can just chuck 10 mil on it and just try and keep that feed going. So anyway, it's still we're nearly into April, and it's not cold really. Like, we haven't got the heater going on in the house at home, although I do have a beanie on today, but that's probably more the way I'm feeling than anything. Yeah, anyway, we'll get it fired up and get a bit of water going. The engine revs up to speed, and I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah. But it'll take about, putting on 11 mil, so it won't be quite 24 hours. It'll do the circle in, so you can put 14 mil on in a 24-hour period, so it'll be about 21 hours, something like that. It'll do the circle in. The dam here, this is about the level it's at when it's runs in under gravity, so it's not far off being full here now. So it's, while we've got the pivot going, it won't matter because obviously it's drawing out of there. But yeah, from here on up, we need to pump the water in. So Tony's just doing a bit of work on one of the pumps, on the pump there at the moment at home. I'm just changing the oil in it and giving it a service. Yeah, so we'll pump the water in, and yeah, you probably get another probably 8 megalitres maybe, something like that. So, but anyway, we'll just see. I'm not too sure. I think the end of May they shut the water off on us, I think. Might even be a bit earlier, mid-May, but we might even put 25 or 30 mil on the loosened pivot while we're going, while we can, and it'll handle it all right. If we do happen to turn around and get an inch of rain, it that sort of country, the pasture country, would handle the extra rain all right. So yeah, anyway, we're getting there slowly. So we're just getting the last of the premium chemicals out in this paddock. We've just got three chemicals in this brew. So just a little bit more on the boom spray Just watch it there as the sections come back on as with the GPS. As we cross the unshaded bit, the sections on the boom will just come back on again. We run an O25, an air induction O25 nozzle, which there's a multitude of different nozzles and spray patterns and that sort of stuff, but we found this one's the best. So we spray sort of 75 to 80 litres of water to the hectare. These ones do allow us to go up to 100 litres, which we're doing at the moment, just with the chemicals we've got in. And now a lot of the chemicals, they specify what water rates you should be using, droplet sizes, even nozzles you should be using. But yeah, we've just found these ones are a good all-round nozzle. But yeah, we've just, to keep, if we tried to put 100 litres of water out at, generally we spray at 18 to 20 kilometres an hour. At the moment we're back to about 13, so if we were trying to spray at 20 kilometres an hour with these nozzles at 100 litres, your pressure is obviously up, or it brings the pressure of your boom spray up, because your ground speed is related to your pressure and also your nozzle size. So pressure would be up, and then in turn would give you a finer droplet. So when you get fines, they talk driftable fines, so that's where you run into trouble with off target stuff like the droplet is that fine, and if it's if you've got wind or inversion, which is another one again, another issue again with spraying. But yeah, you sort of talk driftable fines. You find that the chemical isn't actually landing on the ground where you want it to be, so it can essentially drift off. It picks up if your droplets are too fine, they're essentially off target, and they're it's drifting over the fence or into a neighbour's crop or something like that, for instance. So there is a fair bit of science behind the spraying job, and it's probably getting it's going to get probably a lot worse, going forward with chemicals and the pressure from the anti-farming mobs. We've sort of got to be right on to what we're doing and how we're doing it. So, and how we, obviously, as I've spoken about before, how we handle it. But sort of the boom spray is really the most important piece of equipment on the farm, generally. So it generally does most of the work anyway, apart from the tractor that's obviously hooked on the front of it. Anyway, we're about finished here. Rain's all gone by the looks of it, not that there was a lot of it. So yeah, we'll get this back up, grab my ute, and we'll get the seeder rolling. This is just a paddock the other day where we were getting the spreader truck bogged. We're just having a look, and we got rows. Oh yeah, good to know we planted it up the right way. Anyway, it's a running joke that's been running for forever with farmers. You can't actually plant seed. For those of you that don't know, you can't actually not plant seed up the right way. It naturally just finds its way to the top. So anyway, but no, it's looking good. There's plenty of plant numbers there. So yeah, it's always pleasing that everything's gone to plan once you see the crop up. So yeah, now we just got to look after it and yeah, get it through to harvest, and hopefully get a bit of help from Mother Nature on the way. Anyway, we'll get this seeder going. Just doing the routine check, making sure we've got no blocked tubes or anything like that. Everything seems to be all clear and ready to go. Sorry, my voice is having a bit of a battle with this cold. Anyway, one thing I've noticed in this paddock, doing its thing. We dropped the rows behind the header we were going to bale the straw and then we didn't. What I'm actually seeing a bit of, if I can find one, is there's a bit of mice activity in this paddock. We might just get onto the guys with the plane, and yeah, bit of mice activity. Mickey and Minnie Mouse having fun, so we might even get the plane organised, and once we've sown this, we might just get them to come over and run some bait out on it for us. It'll be interesting. Would be interesting to have a look at night time to see under the lights. Generally, that's when you see them. But I did see one before hopping about. They're pretty. They don't come out much during the day because obviously you've got hawks and that sort of stuff. Love catching them. So yeah. Anyway, we'll get rolling. But yeah, it's just something we're going to have to keep an eye on going forward. Just having a quick depth check. So the leatherman here will have a bit of a scratch about. See whether we can. Oh, there's one. See him? There's another one. Yeah, we've got one running a bit high here. I don't know what the go is there, but anyway, we are carrying a little bit of dirt on the press wheels, which it does alter the depth of the seed a little bit. So you can sort of see there's one that's not quite covered up, but hopefully, likes of those guys there, they've got enough seed soil contact that they'll get going. But yeah, fingers crossed they'll be all right. Yeah, not too sure. There's a bit more here. I can see a bit more seed that I'd sort of like to see actually. Whether we might need to go down a whisker more perhaps. Conditions are near on perfect for sowing though. Like you nearly grow babies. The conditions are that good at the moment. So anyway, yeah, I'm an idiot. Yeah, might just have a play with that seed depth though, see if we can get that a little bit better. Yeah, anyway, leave that one with me. Just done another run, and we'll just show you some of these ones. We're sort of carrying a bit of dirt on the press wheel, so because the depth is the size of the press wheel sort of related to the depth of the seed a bit, because that just follows the ground. If that press wheel's carrying dirt, or mud or whatever, it actually means that the seed's a bit not going as deep. So I've actually just went up about half a kilometre an hour. We've still got a bit of, just I thought, maybe we can get a bit more soil throw, but it's probably not ideal either. It's not quite what I'm sort of wanting. So I reckon I might just drop that down a fraction more. Another sort of half a hole. We've got a bit of few different options there, so I might just shuffle them around and move them down a sort of another, 10 or 12 mil just to try and get them a bit deeper. So we've got very good moisture, so it's not going to be, bang my head as I stand up. Yeah, it's not going to be a drama. The seed will come up, no worries. But yeah, I'm just a bit worried that we're still not quite getting that. All those seeds covered up. So you only get one crack at it, so you just got to make sure it's right. There's still, still a few here on the side. Just going a bit quicker. It's sort of chucking a bit more dirt into the furrow, but which isn't really what we sort of want either, because that soil on the surface has got the chemical on it that we've just put out, and what can actually happen is if you throw too much into that surface soil into the furrows, if I can get it out, then yeah, it can actually check the crop as it's coming out of the ground. So anyway, we'll drop these down a little bit. It's only a 10-minute job, and hopefully that might fix the problem up. Oh, I think we might nearly have it. It's tricky here as well because we're quite sandy at this end of the paddock, and then we get up over a bit of a rise there, and we sort of run into the sort of red alomia country. So yeah, I've just get out of my shadow, but yeah, I've just dropped them down another sort of 10 or 12 mil, half an inch if you're running in the Imperial. And yeah, we've sort of got a lot less on top, so I think we'll take that as a win. But yeah, it's a bit, we sort of need scrapers on the press wheels when conditions are like they are, because you get that bit of build up of wet soil on the press wheel, and then the seed tube rides up out of the ground a bit. But yeah, there's still the odd one, but it's a damn sight better than what it was. So anyway, we'll get cracking and try and get a bit in. Well, we've come to the end of another day. Yeah, we got that paddock finished and got moved, and yeah, there's 45 hectares left out there, which we'll get tomorrow, running into the weekend again. But the way I'm feeling, I just thought, well, yeah, try and get a good night's sleep, and Tony's going to come out tomorrow and feed the woolies for me, which will be good. We were going to head down and start our sort of main contract job on Sunday, but the guys down there have rung up and they haven't got any fertiliser. So we're thinking we might actually start sowing our wheat. We haven't got a lot of wheat left to sow because we were sowing the grazing stuff earlier on. So yeah, there's about 130 hectares out there. So if I can get cracking early in the morning, I might be able to, same thing, we'll double knock that area as well with the glyphosate, and then come back with the paraquat and that the second time. Yeah, so we're just thinking it's probably, you know, ideally it's probably a week early, but given that sort of country, they are talking a sort of drier year, that lighter sort of soil, it does, look, it's got plenty of moisture now, but it does cut off at the back end. So I'm just thinking perhaps we'll get the crop in, get it up and get it going. You have got that frost risk, but you look, we're after Anzac Day now, we're a couple of days off the start of May. So yeah, just thinking while we're out there, it saves moving the gear back out there. We can sort of finish it up, and then that's the bulk of our stuff done. Then we've just got a little bit of wheat. We've got a different variety that we're going to sow here at home, just as a bulk up seed, and then we've got a bit of lucerne that I've spoken about. The guys have been working the ground up for it as well, getting it knocked into shape. So anyway, the plan always evolving. You never want to set it in concrete. But anyway, yeah. Thanks again for watching and loaning me a bit of your time to show you what we're doing. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll yeah, keep subscribing and keep liking and commenting. It's rocking along pretty well. So anyway, thanks again, and we'll catch you on the next one. Ta-da.